Welcome,
Welcome.
Housewives of True Crime.
Uh-huh.
How's it?
Dude, it's happening.
Well, we are.
Around the corner.
It is today for me and my children.
Oh God.
So it's the last day of school, which is full of, I don't know, like I feel some sort of pressure to do something with my children fun because it's the last day of their school.
That's fun. Where did all this pressure come from? When we were kids, it was like it was
Oh,
the last day of school. That was the fun thing.
I know. You know what I do love though? I pick up the kids from school and I blast that like Alice Cooper song.
I love
Yeah.
it. That's awesome.
I
Yeah,
blast it so
I might
loud.
steal that.
You've got to do it. It's so fun. And then I noticed after I picked one of them up, I've got a freaking nail in my tire.
Lord help you. You have bad luck
This
with the car
car,
shit.
dude, you guys. So remember, I got a new car and then the
Mhm.
transmission went fully out. Like it needed a new transmission after 4 weeks. So it's been gone for 4 more weeks or 6 weeks. Got
Mhm.
it back 1 week ago. Now I have a freaking nail in my tire. I haven't even told the husband. He's gonna be like so pissed.
Yeah, annoying. Annoying. Well, the
Oh,
thing for
though.
me over here is I feel like guilty ending homeschool. Like I'm
Oh,
just continuing it.
because you're kind of like,
Yeah,
we
because
took some days off
we took a
here.
lot of days off.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
you
just kind of
registered
like
your
riding it out.
you registered your kids for school and they were
Oh,
like,
they are
oh,
ready for the fall.
they're like, where's
Boom.
your paperwork? Remember the school asked you for like your documents for your kids.
I know. Well, yeah, but we might have to move, turns out. So I don't know if
Oh,
they'll
well,
still
there's
even be
that.
going into that school. Yeah,
Right.
I got
99
some
problems.
stressors. That's right. 99 problems. But you know what? I am just count down to I signed my kids up for a day camp.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
love
God.
it.
Every day I just like fantasize about all the things I'm going to get done. I'm going to drop them off for a whole week from 9 to 4.
9 to 4. That's a
Oh, I've got like
long
Monday,
day.
Tuesday, Wednesday already planned.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I'm
God,
like,
for
oh my
sure.
God. I'm going to go to the gym and Starbucks. I'm going to go to the mall.
Okay,
Not going to have
finally
some
got
little rugrat that needs me to buy him a pretzel.
right.
I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
I think I have kept Annie Ann's, is it Auntie Anne's and
Hmm.
Wetzel Pretzel in business. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. With the
Oh, I was
cheese, and then they get it all over themselves because it's like messy. It's like not a good mall food. The only thing that kids should be allowed to eat at the mall is like a burrito,
I
like
don't
real
give
tight
them the
wrapped up.
option for the cheese and dip. It's like you get the pretzel. That's it. In the
That's
bag.
it. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in the stroller. I mean, I'm past that stage, but that was my
Oh,
go-to. Like sit in the stroller, eat your pretzel.
yeah.
We're going shopping. It's finally sunny here and warm.
Woo-hoo.
So thank the heavens, got my ass outside and I'm wearing jean shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a happy little clam.
Yeah. You look fancy. You look like you're going to church if you're watching this on YouTube.
Listen, I was telling Gretchen before we started recording, sometimes when I'm going to something that's like, I still want to be super casual, but I don't want to look like a total casual slob. I will put a nice shirt on top with some jean shorts. So it's kind of like having a mullet, you know? It's like party on top.
Listen.
Or wait, no, it's
No. Business on
business on
top,
top, party
party on
on
the
the bottom.
bottom.
That's 100% what I've
I'm
got
not going to
going
say
on.
anything about that. That's what she said. That's all I'm going to
What?
say about that.
That's what she said.
Party on
Business
the
on top,
bottom.
party on the bottom. With a sliver of Bieber.
A sliver of beaver. Tab's
That's from our
favorite.
that's from our last
Our
Patreon. If you
Patreon. Tab's
didn't
fan of
get that.
Justin Bieber. That's what we're talking about. Don't be a dirty bird. Okay.
Okay. You have a
Got
case
anything
for
else you
us?
want to tell crime? Yeah, let's get to some
Yes.
crime.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. Today's case tab is brought to us by listener suggestion from Lindsay Williams.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Lindsay.
Linz.
Yeah.
Today, I am going to tell you about the case of Marie Carlson. It takes place in, of course,
Florida.
Yes, Sunshine State. I know. It's worse than that, too. It's Fort Walton Beach, to be exact, which is adjacent to none other than...
Pensacola.
That's right.
How did I guess? Oh my gosh. I'm going to Florida this summer.
I know. It's a sign.
That we
Too
should
much
go
good
there?
crime happens there.
We
Yeah,
need
we
to
are
need to do
heading to
some
Pensacola. Yeah.
You're gonna go to
Okay.
Florida, I think, also, so we're just not
Yeah,
going together.
at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
But we should go together.
We will.
Okay, at some point. Okay. Well, in Fort Walton Beach tab, you can buy a nice 3-bedroom home for about $350,000 and on up to just 1.5 to be on the water.
No way.
Sounds dreamy.
And is it on, like, the
It's on a nice beach. I told you it's right next to
water?
Pensacola. Yeah,
Oh my
California is just
god.
whack. Yeah, California real estate is wiggity whack. Okay. So Marie Carlson found herself there at the age of 37 after a few years of bouncing around the USA. Marie was a lady that had ants in her pants, which I can relate to. You know, I'm a mover.
Mhm. You are a
Like I said in the
mover.
beginning, yeah, I just found out I might have to move. I'm like, I'm okay with it. You know, I get real tired of places. 4 years is the longest I've ever lived anywhere.
Okay, so 5 years for me. So I'm kind of a
Yeah.
mover also. You know
Yeah.
what? It's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
when you move, you kinda get rid of your
Oh,
shit.
it's like a fresh start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was fun, smart. She had a degree in criminal justice,
Mm.
which is awesome,
Yes, I kind of envy
right?
that.
Yeah. But she suffered from bipolar disorder. And her family says that it prevented her from holding down a job for long periods of time, despite her just big heart and good intentions. I guess there's varying kinds of bipolar, and she
Mm.
had a good one. Like it, you know, she wasn't like violent or, you know,
Right.
anything like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the deal with Marie was she had a daughter named Paris that she adored. And when her daughter was 3, she left her in the care of her father, Paris's father,
Mhm.
Jeff Carlson in Kentucky. Now, that seems hard to imagine for me, but according to Jeff and her close family, they say it was incredibly brave of her to do. She recognized that she just wasn't in a stable position, and Jeff could be the parent to provide that for their daughter. And Marie was still very much a part of Paris's life. She visited often and called all the time, and it sounds like she had a great relationship with her ex-husband, Jeff, despite their short-lived marriage not working out. And I mean, I just think that says a lot about both people because, you know, we often see people being so petty at the expense of their children,
Right.
but they didn't seem to. They both seem to be on the same page about having this little girl's best interest at heart.
Can I just say I love the name Paris so
Oh
much?
my God, I do too,
Yeah.
right? So good. Yeah,
I should have named
you
a
could
kid
have had a
Paris.
child. Tab's got a love for Paris,
I do,
Penny.
and I think if I had another girl, I probably would name her that. Not that I'm having another girl, but
If you
if I
did,
ever did
yeah.
adopt a
You should have at
baby.
least a Moulin Rouge party. We could go crazy on the outfits.
Oh, so fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Goals. Okay. So, although Marie's family was used to her moving around a lot, there was something different about her move to Fort Walton, and that was that this time Marie found herself very involved with a church by the name of Emerald Coast Cavalry Church. Her family was actually very happy for her when they learned she had gotten involved with the church. They thought, what most people would think, that this was an excellent way to channel your energy while, centering yourself.
Mhm.
And this church looks pretty happening. They have a Facebook page with 1,500 likes. And they have all the cool graphics on their website, and Instagram. I think that over the last 10 years or so, with all the social media, churches have really stepped up their game in the cool department, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Emerald Church is good size, but it's in a strip mall. So it's not sexy on the outside. But when you see their interweb posts, I mean, it looks happening. So in 2010, it was happening. People credited this with their presence on YouTube. They had kind of a cool guy pastor.
Mhm.
Okay,
Pastor.
by the name pastor. Okay, by the name of James Flanders. He had quite the following on YouTube, and as well as growing in-person numbers. James dresses real casual and seems like just a genuine guy. I can see why people are so fond of him, or were so fond of him. I found a clip of one of his sermons on the YouTube, so I'm going to play it for you.
I get there and I start walking around and I can't remember what I went to the store for. And so, trying to remember what it is I went to the store for, I walk around looking and then I end up buying something I didn't need. You ever do that one? And then this has happened to me too. After going to the store, forgetting why I went there, I went out to the parking lot and forgot where I parked. And what makes it even worse, this has happened to me 2 or 3 times. Not only do I forget where I parked, but I forgot what I had driven to the store. And if you're at Wally World, that can be bad. Now, we have an old white car and we have a truck. Now, the truck, it's got the little panic button on it. You can push it, and that panic button is not for someone attacking you. No, the panic button is, I can't find my car. And so I push the panic button, and if I don't hear honk, honk, I know I'm in the car. And so I start walking up and down looking for the car. If I hear honk, honk, I know I'm in the truck. So I keep pushing the button, following the honk. Now, if you see me at Walmart, just smile and wave and say, that's our pastor. You gotta love him because the Bible says so, right?
Okay, so he's entertaining, right?
Yeah. Like you want to
Yeah.
be his friend.
Yeah. He mentions Tanya and in that clip, and
Yeah.
that's his wife. Okay.
Okay.
Being the wife of the pastor, she had a big role at the church too, being HBIC, a bitch in charge of the
Mhm.
women's ministry.
Mm.
Tanya, by the way, she is ride or die for James, completely devoted. She is just buying everything he's selling. I would say, she doesn't question him. She's a much better wife than you or I. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. They also have a child. She was all grown up and gone now in 2010. Okay.
Mhm.
So James and Tanya presented themselves to their church family as this model, God-loving couple. But they weren't exactly as content as they wanted people to believe. And here's where it starts to get a little bit messy. And we know how it ends, but we don't know exactly how it began. So somehow this evangelical Christian couple took on a sister wife in the form of Marie.
Oh.
Um, mhm. I am not sure if that's exactly what they called their arrangement, but for sure we know James and Marie started doing the no pants stance on the regular because we have loads of text messages between the two of them, and they are pretty graphic.
Mm.
So also Marie found herself pregnant and James
Oh.
was the father. Yeah, so there's
Yikes.
that.
So was she not living with them? She was just
She
kinda
was, yes, she was living with them.
she was.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that her being pregnant with James being the father, that's kind of a pickle when you're a pastor, right? But James apparently
Well,
thought
it probably doesn't look so good.
it just depends on the church you're presiding
I mean,
over.
maybe not, because we did talk about the 10 Commandments last week, and I'm pretty sure
It
that
just
adultery
depends.
thing.
Listen, I love a sister wife. Watch all the sister wife shows, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
because if it's consensual, it's not adultery. Is that what you're saying? Something like that? Like if the
Yeah.
wife says it's okay, it's okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I don't know if that's
Okay, but
really how the Bible
not
means
everybody's
it,
as
but
open-minded as I am. Okay.
okay.
Okay. They're like you, close-minded.
Oh, thanks.
So James thought how he could kind of like sell this to his church was he could just use the Bible to ease his congregation into what he had talked Tanya into, which is that God is cool with extra wives. Apparently there's like some passages in like the Old Testament or something. You know?
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, well it didn't go over well.
Yeah, you think?
People apparently were like, what the hell? And he had to kind of backpedal when that sermon was not so well received.
Hmm.
So then they decided to tell people that Marie had agreed to be their surrogate. And they had taken her in, to take care of her and, thank her for her womb, which is a pretty good plan given their position, right?
It's better than I was gonna say, Marie just
Trying to talk a whole group of
miraculously
people.
got
Yeah.
pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing though. When sweet baby Grace was born, she did not look like Tanya or James. She looked like Marie. And Marie was Filipino. She was strikingly beautiful, like total disco biscuit.
Mhm.
Okay. And James and Tanya are pasty white folks. And the baby resembled its mama.
Of
So,
course.
of
My friend
course.
Noreen, Filipino also, Disco
Uh-huh.
Biscuit, and her kids too. She's married to a white guy, and her kids look like her.
Yeah. Yeah. Dominant genes.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Right. So they changed the story of how baby Grace came to be. And that was that Marie had left an abusive boyfriend and was all like down on her luck. And so they had decided to all three raise the baby together. So I think it's possible that Tanya went for the whole sister wife thing because she actually wanted another baby and she wasn't able to have any herself. I did read that she had had several miscarriages. So, I mean, that's how I formed that opinion, but I'm
Mhm.
just speculating that, okay?
Okay.
I mean, I think instead of the whole sister wife route, there's always adoption if you're fertility challenged, which is a beautiful thing. But for some reason, she thought having her husband start boning someone else and raising their offspring all together would be easier.
Sounds
I mean,
real challenging to me.
personally, I would rather fill out all that adoption paperwork. I know it's a lot, but
Yeah.
that's just me, maybe, right? Okay. All right. So, however, Tanya imagined this like unique situation they all had going on, working out after the baby was born. That's not how it went, right? So, for one, it turns out that Marie not really into sharing the baby with Tanya. Marie was motherly. She adored this baby. She didn't want any advice from Tanya about like how to do it. Remember, she's 37. You know,
Yeah.
she knows what's up.
Right.
Also, she let it slip to a select few church ladies that she was doing it with James and she wanted him all to herself.
Mhm.
So apparently Marie worked at the church coffee shop. So, ladies be talking, right?
Mhm.
Okay. She had also told her mama that she thought James and Tanya now wanted her to bounce and just leave the
Leave the
baby with them.
baby. Well,
And she didn't want to do that.
they probably also thought like, well, she did it already once.
You're
So why
probably
wouldn't she
right.
do it again, you know?
You're probably right. Yeah, but I think maybe she felt like she did that at that point of her life and she knew how hard that was for her to make that decision and she didn't want to do that again.
Right. I'm sure that is. Like 37.
Yeah.
I don't know how old she
Sh-
was at the first baby, but like you grow up in your 30s a lot. So I could see even in your early 30s, you think one way, in your late 30s, you think another way, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so tensions were running hot at the Flanders Carlson home. You can imagine, right? What to
Hmm.
do. When baby Grace was 3 months old, everyone close to Marie received a text from her out of the blue, and it said she was leaving the area to do something she had always wanted to do, but she hadn't told them before because she didn't want anyone to stop her, and she was leaving the baby with James and Tanya, and everything was fine,
That's not sus at all.
right? Alarm bells went off immediately. Yes, it wasn't completely off base that Marie would pick up and leave, but those that knew her best knew that she wouldn't just leave her new baby behind. And if she did decide to take off, she wouldn't go anywhere without telling her ex-husband and now 7-year-old daughter that he was still caring for what her plans were. I mean, she
Yeah.
was all up in their business all the time. Okay. And another thing was the tone of the text message just didn't
Wasn't
sound
her.
like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of her close friends in Florida picked up on that. She referred to Tanya and James as Tanya and James, and she'd never done that before. She always referred to them as James and Tanya.
Hmm.
So subtle, but when you're
Yeah.
just like, you just know.
Yeah.
All the people in this group text start like talking with each other, and Marie's sister and her ex-husband called the police in Florida. And they actually took the call seriously. It helped that one of the detectives had just returned to work from maternity leave herself. And so her gut instinct was this woman did not just up and leave her 3-month-old baby behind. Right.
Right. There's no way.
So, yeah. So she went and had a chat with the Flanders. And they said that they were sure that Marie would be back, but they did let the detectives know that Marie was bipolar and she was medicated for it, but she hadn't been taking her
Mhm.
medication and she just does stuff like this. But they talked to her family who said, yeah, that is true. But also not so much. I mean, she does like to move, but she doesn't just disappear. That was not Marie's MO. So they circled back to the Flanders and tried to piece together Marie's last known whereabouts because at this point it's been 2 weeks and she's a missing person. James said he stayed home from work with Marie the last day she was at the house because she was in a terrible mood. He said that around 4 o'clock, Marie took a nap, and so Tanya took the baby out shopping with her. He says around 6, Marie woke up, told him she wanted to start raising her daughter Paris, but she needed to take care of herself first. He says after this discussion, he went for a run and then called Tanya at 8:30, who was still out shopping,
At
and
night
she at night,
with the baby,
exactly what
3
my
months
thought.
old.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And she picked him up a block from the house. Yeah, side note, exactly what you just said. I took a pause to I mean, it's pretty hard. It's possible to be out shopping for 4.5 hours with a 3-month-old baby, but not likely.
No. It's not.
Anybody who's done it is like,
No.
And at 8:30 at night,
Now, you
I
can
mean,
do it. You can. But it's not something you're gonna wanna do. That baby needs to be eating a lot, a lot.
and yeah, and go to bed in its own bed.
Yeah.
But 8:30 is late. I mean, my kids were going down by like 7 at that age,
Oh,
sometimes
3
6.
3 months old, you're still in the thick of it. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it is, like, still basically considered I mean, I guess at 3 months it's considered an infant, but it's still kind of a newborn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, and also, let me just tell
Oh,
you about Tanya.
yes.
There's something fishy about this because she doesn't look like much of a shopper. I
Oh,
mean, okay.
yeah. Like, what did she buy? Did she buy
I mean,
stuff? Did she
no
have receipts?
shade, but she didn't look like I mean, she wasn't spending, you wouldn't spend 4.5 hours at the freaking grocery store, right? Like, and I don't picture her being like checking out what is on sale at the Express like I was doing all morning, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. So there's just something sus about that. Okay. So James also told police it was strange that Marie had packed up all her things, but she did not take them with her.
I
So,
mean,
like,
that is so
so
weird.
strange.
Like,
Yeah.
so strange.
So he said they were very concerned after 2 days of her not returning home. So, you know what they did? They decided to drive around and look for her car. And he thought maybe she even parked at the airport and flew somewhere. So he went and checked. And you know what? He found it.
It was there.
It was there.
No way.
Yep. So he brought that truck home. The weird thing about this is that 7 hours before, a police officer in the area spotted Marie's truck parked in a deserted gas station and just made a note of it.
Mhm.
You know, she wasn't like a missing person at that time. So he just thought that's strange that that nice truck is in this deserted gas station. So he just wrote it down. Good police work, right?
Good
But
police work.
I'm
Also,
guessing what?
airports have lots of security. You have to, like they know when you're parking there and when you're not, so I'm sure they
Oh,
could pull up all that.
we are going to get to that.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Well, I'm guessing James did not know about the police officer just doing due diligence, taking a note of the car being at that gas station. Okay. So, based on what James and Tanya are telling detectives, they took the next logical step, which is they checked all the flights to see where she would have gone. You know, there's records of that.
Mhm.
But she hadn't hopped on any flights. So they went through the tickets at the long-term parking lot because when you enter, you get a ticket and then you return it. So they were checking for prints. Well, they found Marie's ticket, but they weren't able to get any prints off of it. So they checked the surveillance video and it wasn't working that day.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
What are the chances of that?
Oh, damn it. So just dead end after dead end. Okay, but I'm telling you, this lady boss, new mama detective kept on digging. And she started talking to members of the church and getting the skinny on what's up with Marie living with the Flanders. And she got some differing stories. She got the story about the abusive boyfriend that was the father. She also heard about the arrangement with Marie and the Flanders and the surrogacy thing. And she heard from a few women that Tanya had told them, well, yeah, James and Marie just had sex to impregnate her. But, you know, Tanya was like, cool with it. So, you know, whoa. The Flanders had also told people that they had a deal with Marie that she would stay and nurse the baby for 3 months and then just bounce and leave the baby as a gift with them because they had been so loving to her over the last few years.
Because that is definitely what you do.
Dude, I mean, that sounds kind of like Rumpelstiltskin-y, right?
Totally, it totally
Like,
does.
I'm gonna give you room and board. Now give me your baby.
That is
I
so
mean,
funny. Colton just learned that fairy tale, and I had kind of forgotten it, and he told me that this week. I was like, "This is real disturbing."
yeah, it is really
It's a
disturbing,
really
right?
disturbing one.
Okay, so police are like, the fact that no one really has the same story, it's not jiving
No.
with what's going on there, okay? So they asked them to voluntarily come in and answer some questions for them, but only Tanya showed up. So they say, okay, spill it. She says, yeah, James and Marie were making sweet love, but they were all three happy because we were a plural family. But she admitted that they did not stay happy after the baby was born. Tanya said that Marie did not want to have a relationship with Grace, and that was the deal. She said that the reasons that the stories around the Emerald Coast House of the Lord varied were because, come on, y'all. I mean, our congregation was not cool with polygamy. So her point was that she was just protecting her, her three-way love relationship, but she
Mhm.
had nothing else to hide. But she also mentioned that, I mean, the other like ding, ding, ding is she said that Marie did not want to have a relationship with the baby in this interview. And that doesn't mesh with me. Okay. So 3 months after Marie disappeared, they got their hands on the cell phone records from the towers from both the Flanders and Marie. And what you know, Tanya and Marie's phones were not close, but James and Marie's phones both pinged off the same towers by his house when she sent that grouped text. And they also pinged together at the tower by the airport at the exact time she would be dropping her truck off there. Still, the police wanted more before they made an arrest. But they waited too long because James and Tanya and the baby decided that Florida was no longer their jam. So they went to Arizona where his family lived. Detectives thought that this is suspicious AF,
Weird.
right?
You have a whole
And
congregation. Aren't you the pastor? Are you like
oh, well, they learned more suspicious 411 when the Emerald Coast youth pastor came in to talk to them and get some things off of his chest. He told them, okay, so y'all know when James was in the mental hospital that the people be talking and he left me in charge. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Mental hospital?
Mhm.
When did that happen?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they weren't really watching, the police weren't really watching James 24/7 because they didn't even know about that James had checked himself into a mental hospital and he had been there for 10 days.
Wow.
Okay. So according to this guy, he said that he mentioned that the reason for checking himself in was because some things were weighing very heavy on him. And before that, he was talking to people about how would one go about getting themselves out of the country if, say, one needed that.
Yeeks. He's like
Eeks,
headed to
right?
Mexico. It's very close to
So
Arizona. Borders are
true,
open.
true, right? So Mr. Youth Pastor also said that he knew at least part of the reason James and Tanya left was because he personally had confronted him about the talk going on around the church that James and Tanya were living polygamy. And I guess when he confronted him, James admitted it to this young man. And he told him, all I can say is the last time I saw Marie, she was alive, but we did have a physical altercation before she left. He said that it left him with scratches and marks all over, and that's why he'd been wearing the long sleeves in the Florida sunny weather for 2 weeks.
Oh my God. How did the police not even catch that?
I don't know, right? Okay, so this young youth pastor, like this guy probably looks like he's like 22 or something, okay?
Okay.
Was like, dude, none of what you just said is cool at all. You have to resign. So he said, I'm just saying, that's why James and Tanya left,
Oh
right?
my
So
God.
this kid
Yeah.
is pretty smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so with James and Tanya out of their way, police searched the shit out of their house. Okay. They brought in cadaver dogs and, everything, but they couldn't find any sign of a homicide. But they did have Marie's computer, but everything on it had been deleted. But the police, super techs, were still able to pull up
Yeah.
her phone download off of it, like all of her conversations and everything.
Yeah.
But at the time when they were able to do this, it was in some indecipherable code or something. So they were kind of stuck. At no sign of Marie. I mean, she was a missing person, but like there was no bank activity or any contact
Phone or
with anyone
anything.
she knew. Yeah. So they had concluded, I mean, really, this isn't a missing person. This is likely a homicide. But
We just don't know where she is.
right, solving a homicide with no body is a big challenge. So the case went cold for years.
No way.
Yes. Until they got some cold justice with the help of Kelly Sigler.
Oh, no way. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
we love her. We love her so much.
I almost put a picture for your birthday up of her with us.
Oh, well, we should post a picture with this case.
Yeah.
Okay. So she took on the case, and the first thing she did was get some new technology on the phone records from the computer, and they were now actually able to read them. So it's Kelly and the original, new mama detective that had started working the case, those two working together. I mean, I just love it, right? Two lady bosses.
Yeah.
And they are reading all over the texts. And I mean, these texts were enough to make these girls blush, right? It was like
Like
James
sexy
and
time
Marie.
text?
Oh, yeah. James and Marie were talking dirty. And, they were like doing it from the church, which I'm sure got them like extra hot, which I mean, I guess that works for some people, but that does not seem sexy to me. Whatever.
Such a
So
prude, you.
I am, right? Okay. So the whole three-way dynamic now really snaps into focus when you can see all of the conversations, right? And it's clear that Tanya wants out of this relationship with James and Tanya, but she wasn't going anywhere without her BB. Okay.
Marie wanted out, but because you said Tanya, Marie wanted out of the relationship.
Marie wants out. Yes. Yes, you're right. Okay.
Not
She
without
was
the
not
baby.
about, that's right. Okay. So in the episode of Cold Justice, which was filmed in 2015, the mama, lady boss detective, and her partner fly out to Arizona to question James and Tanya about new evidence that they had gathered with Kelly.
Tell me, what was he doing for a living at this point?
I don't know.
Okay.
He does legit have family out there, so I think maybe they were just like living off of family.
I'm just wondering if he started another church.
Well, there is actually a clip of him on the internet hawking like gold coins. So maybe he was doing something like that. I don't know.
All right.
Okay, so they called up Tanya and she answered. She was feeling feisty, or maybe that's how she always is, but I thought she was a real bitch. She did answer some questions for them, though, but she didn't give them any new information. She was like, so what? He told some people he wanted out of the country. I don't think that's weird at all. They asked if they could speak with James, and she was like, I don't think so. He is in the ICU with his father. And the detective said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And she said, no, you're not. So, whew, okay. So they tried calling James directly, but he did not pick up the phone. When the episode ends, they had managed to get the state attorney's office to review the case and possibly charge James, but that didn't happen for like a minute. Okay. So I read the report that they actually submitted for review. And it said that at some point, James had spoke with someone from the church in Florida and told them that him and Tanya had stopped at a cemetery in Sedona, Arizona, which is one of my favorite places, but it's about 5 hours from Cochise, Arizona, which is where they were living.
Okay.
And it's not on the way if you're coming from Florida. Like if you were coming from Florida, you would take like the 10, which is like the lower part of Arizona, right?
Through like New
And
Mexico.
yeah, and Sedona, it is like way up off
Right.
of I-40.
Northern.
Yeah, northern. Yeah. And you don't just drive through Sedona. You got to like get off of I-40 and then,
Get up in the mountains.
Head up the mountains. Yeah. So I thought that was a little suspicious, right? Because it's not along the way. Actually, it's about 10 hours out of your way. So anyways, he says they happened to stop there and they came across a headstone that said Marie Carlson. So he told these church folk, Marie's just dead for sure. I mean, that is totally random, but I just thought when I read that's just randomly creepy. I mean, creepy enough for them to put it in their report. Okay.
Right.
So after that report was submitted, it took about another year and a half for them to charge and arrest James. But they did. Yes, PTL. Okay. So they rounded his ass up and took him back to Florida. The thing was, they still didn't feel that they had that strong of a case to convict him at trial. So what they did was
they don't have a body.
They don't have a body. So with the consent of Marie's family, who still just desperately wanted answers, they offered him a plea in exchange to tell them what happened and where Marie's body was. So James pled guilty to manslaughter and told detectives that what happened was that Marie was having some kind of mental episode and he restrained her in a bear hug until she was lifeless. And then he buried her in the backyard. The same backyard that they had searched 6 years prior. They had missed her.
No way.
Yeah. He took them to the spot.
By the way,
yeah,
probably should not bury somebody that you just killed in your backyard.
Dude. Color.
Like, that's really stupid.
He's really lucky that they missed her. Right?
Yes.
I mean, it's very unfortunate because they would have arrested him.
God.
Yeah. Saved everybody 6 years worth of grief.
How did they miss it? They're like,
I don't know. They said they had cadaver dogs and like ground penetrating radar.
Yeah. So did they find her?
They found her. He did do a good job. She was buried really, you can see, I've seen the picture of where they found her. She was 5 feet deep. I mean, deep, right? It wrapped up in a blanket. So James says that Tanya knew nothing and continued to know nothing all this time. And when it happened, she was at the store. I
She
mean, I'm
was
calling
not at the
bullshit on that.
store.
I am calling bullshit on that. She knew what was up. I mean, she might not have been there when it
He's just
actually happened, but it takes a minute to dig a
he
5-foot hole in your yard.
she probably was there when it happened, and he was like, "You need to take off for at least 4 or 5 hours."
Dude,
And then
totally.
she
And
was
he
like,
probably called
"Okay."
her. Yeah, he probably called her when he was like, "Okay, I'm done. You can come home now." That's why he called her at 8:30. It wasn't because he was
100%.
like out on the run. I mean, if you've been out running,
No.
why are you going to have somebody pick you up when you're a block away?
Whoops. No. That's
No,
what
no, no,
happened.
no, no,
He's
no,
like,
no, no.
"Done. You can come home.
Okay.
We're all good."
Okay. Also, I mean, there's this big hole in their backyard, which their backyard was not big. I mean, it's like average size backyard, I would
Okay, that's what I
say.
was thinking. Like,
Okay.
do they have like a forest out there or
Okay,
no?
no. So don't you think at some point she would be like, that is so weird. Marie is gone, vanished, disappeared. And now there is a freshly dug area the size of, say, a grave in our backyard.
So weird.
It's so weird. I mean, I don't know. I think they planned it together, but
I
we'll
don't know if
never
they
know.
planned it together. They possibly did. They probably, yeah, they planned it together
I
100%.
think so.
But he's trying to save her ass and tell me what he got
Yeah.
for manslaughter, because
Oh,
last
well,
manslaughter case last week was 16 years,
not that much. Okay.
5 years.
Let me tell you what's even more bananas is than James sentencing is that Tanya is still living her best life in Arizona raising Grace. Okay.
Yikes.
So James was sentenced to 15 years with the possibility of parole after 11, which he's scheduled to get in 2028.
Okay.
I mean, at least I looked at his recent mugshot. That's what his scheduled release date is.
Do you think him and Tanya are still
Yeah, I think he's
together?
going to resume, his life with, his wife and the child, who she'll be grown by then, but whose biological mother he
Murdered?
admitted to killing. Yeah. So fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
That is
I mean,
real hard for that kid. Because at some
that
point
is
she's gonna
really
have to
hard for that
come
kid. Oh
to
my God.
terms with all of that, right? It's like,
Yeah, and you can't really take
what?
her away from Tanya at that point because that is the only mother she's ever known.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's too damn bad they didn't find that body earlier, because then Marie's family could have been raising this little
yeah,
girl the whole time.
yeah. Do you remember that case where the woman stole the baby, raised the child till she was like 16? It came out that she stole this woman's baby, and then it was like this thing where the child, who wasn't really a child anymore, was like, "I still love the mom that raised me."
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds familiar.
It's so challenging
Yeah, it
because
is.
it was an awful thing for this person to do, but she raised the child like a loving mother, and so how can you, and that's the only mom she's ever known. She doesn't even know the mom that gave birth to her, and then, I mean, it's just such a fucked up thing.
It is. And I mean, poor Marie's family. I mean, they feel terrible that they'll never get to know this little girl
I
or tell
know.
her anything about her mother, or anything. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
Mhm.
Okay, so James, I mean, one last thing is, so I will post his most recent mugshot. I mean, he looks all right. He actually looks like he has a tan. So I don't
Really?
know what they got going on there. Yeah.
Tanner face lotion, I guess.
I don't know. I guess he gets getting his fair share of outdoor time. prison is working for him, I
I
guess.
I thought they don't I mean, listen, the jail that I saw in Los Angeles, their outdoor time, it's like, this concrete area that has above, like way above, like 10 feet above, has some mesh to the
Yeah.
outside. That's what they call outside. There's not like a
Yeah, but there's
yard.
all
But there are
different kinds
prisons that have
of.
like actual
Yeah,
yards
I
and
mean, you could be
grass and
like,
shit.
I mean, Orange is the New Black and have gardening and I mean,
Oh,
get a lot
true.
of time outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Just don't get locked up in Los Angeles City. I'm just saying it's a
Oh,
real shithole.
heck no. Or listen, I watched this show on Netflix called Jailbirds or whatever, and they're in like Oakland, I think.
Yeah, same.
Uh,
Same. No way.
you do not want to get locked up there. No,
Oh, no way.
stay out of trouble.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, that's a wop.
Okay. We didn't talk about what we're drinking, but I am back on, if you see it on the YouTube, I'm back on the Crystal Light and Perrier.
Mhm.
It is a real good summer drink,
It
guys.
really is a good summer drink.
It really is.
Yeah.
So you either put the vodka in or you leave it out. Whatever way you choose to drink it, it is so delightful. And I'm having a summer little get together at my house with a couple kids coming over
So fun.
tomorrow. Not really tomorrow because we're recording early, but the day after Memorial Day. And so I went like crazy at Target buying. They have the cutest summer stuff right now in
Oh
the
God, I
back
can't wait to go to
department.
Target without my kids when they go to camp. I can
Yeah.
never, I haven't been to Target in so long because my kids will just want toys.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm telling you, they have upped their game on the cuteness department of their summer splash stuff. I mean, I got these like pinwheels and all kinds of stuff. Also, Gretchen, remember, I sent you, this is not an ad or anything, but it is magical. That face thing that you wash your face with. My mom got it for me for my birthday.
Yeah, okay, we could talk about this. Tab
You get
sends
it?
me this. No, because I got to thinking about it. So what, you got to wash that thing in the washing machine every time you use it?
No. You wash your face with it for like, okay, so you put it's like a cloth, super soft. It's called the Magic Eraser, right? No, it's not
Mhm.
called the Magic Eraser. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you guys what it is called. Um, I think it says like 10 times before you put it in the wash. I just put it in the wash when I wash my towels, right? That's the only, like, that's when you wash it. When you like, whatever, when you wash your towels, just throw it in there. And it's magic. It's just you put water on it, it takes off all your makeup without having to do makeup remover and soap. You don't even use soap. Okay. That's it. Water, wipe, done.
I'm
Better.
skeptical.
What?
I'm skeptical.
I wear the Thrive mascara, which is really hard to get off of your eyes, if anybody knows. I love the mascara, but it is kind of difficult to get off. And that's probably why it's so good, you know? But I will
Yeah.
just tell you, it comes off with this towel, and I just bought 4 of them to give as gifts. So, well, I thought I bought 4 of them. Maybe I just sent you the link and then I didn't actually buy it. Oh yeah, it's called Makeup Eraser. The original makeup eraser. Okay? I promise you guys you will enjoy it.
It's good. Good. Okay.
Also, if you haven't followed us on Instagram or Facebook, we have a group called Housewives of True Crime Group. And we also have a Housewives of True Crime Keto, Myeto, whatever you want to diet.
I got to get on it.
How's it going?
Listen, I'm waiting for your friend Sally to send me some book.
Oh, I know. Okay, so
Sally,
my friend,
if you're listening,
hello.
she
She is. Her brother wrote a book on keto. He's a doctor. And I will post it also and tell you guys what it's called when we get it. And he talks about why it's good for you, which
I need some convincing again.
I know.
So I was waiting for that. That's my excuse this week.
Sierra Faith XO, she is just the cutest little disco biscuit, and she mimicked us this
Aw.
week. Like,
That's so funny.
it's so funny. I love it. I love it, you guys. So if you will please tag us in all of your posts on Instagram or Facebook, we would love it. If you love us, we love you. Also, if you want to give us a review, you can on Apple Podcasts. That's fun. And if you really want to support us, you can log on to patreon.com/Housewives of True Crime and join our Patreon group for extra episodes. And some of our beginning episodes are on there too, all the way back when we were just noobs.
Green. That's what they call it.
They call
Happy
it
Memorial Day, everybody.
Yeah. Happy
You have
Memorial
some
Day.
red, white, and blue happiness. Yummy. Eat your hot dogs. I'm going to get my mouth around one this weekend for sure.
Oh my God. I could. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think we're done.
You're
Clink,
the
clink.
one. We're done. We're out.
All right. Clink. Clickety clink.
Clink.
Clink. Bye.